Hey everyone. So today I wanted to talk in particular about a book that I've been reading. It's called Running the Spiritual Path. It's by Roger Joslin. I think it came out like 20 years ago. I kind of came across it maybe 4 or 5 years ago when I kind of was getting into running. And I started reading it when I had gotten it, again, about 4 or 5 years ago. And it was kind of interesting, but I sort of lost interest in it and put it down. And I returned to it about a month ago, and I find it so fascinating in many aspects, not just with running, but just life. I think maybe I had to go through a lot of running to kind of appreciate it the second time around, but he kind of shares his journals just about trying to mesh his desire to run as well as meditate and kind of practice the presence of God, as I think that's a Brother Lawrence thing. But I found it really interesting. One key part I wanted to share with you was he's talking about going out for a run, and a lot of people go out for runs and their mind is full of stuff. Our minds are always full of things, worries and things we need to do, and a lot of people say that you can use a run to kind of go sort that stuff out. But his advice is that with the blood flowing and the lungs and all that stuff going, it's actually not a good time to do that. He suggests it's a time of meditation, and one thing he looks at is when I can run and not have music playing or things like that, I can start focusing on what I'm doing on the run. So what he does a lot of just listening to the sound of his feet hitting the road, the sound of the traffic or the trees, the sound of his breath. It's a lot about breath, breathing in and out. And his point was, when you can focus on the physical or when you can focus on what your body is doing, it takes the focus away from your brain, and it allows space for the divine. And I thought that was really cool as Charles enters the scene. So I thought of that as well as just for things that aren't necessarily, it doesn't really have to do with running either, ways that you can be physically active and focusing on that, really engaging in it to where you are aware of your surroundings, your body, what's going on as being your focus. And in that, you can find peace in your mind and your heart. So it's something I'm kind of trying to tackle a little bit and focus on a little bit more, not have music playing quite as much. I know for even my kids, they almost always have one earbud in their ear. And where I work, a lot of people, they can work with like that. But man, is there a way for us to kind of disengage from the distractions or just the constant engagement, I guess, and just focus on one thing, and within that one thing allow space for God or the divine to grant you whether it's enlightenment or peace or clarity or refreshment. That's my thought for the day. I'm going to continue reading that book, and I'm sure going to continue to challenge me. Hey, Charles.